It's every parent's wish that their children grow up with both parents under the same household. But sometimes, due to unavoidable circumstances, we have seen parents fail to coexist under the same roof. So how we manage the transition for both the parents and the children is a very important conversation that I want us to have today. How do we help the children cope, and what measures do we put in place to protect them? My name is Aine Cassandra. Welcome to Street Law. Research shows that over 70% of criminals, say the drug addicts, rape suspects, come from dysfunctional families or are children from dysfunctional families. Those are ugly statistics and something for parents to think about so deeply. But again, sometimes we cannot avoid these separations. And we have also seen on the other side, single parents raise their children morally upright, even much better than children from functional families. This sometimes is because of how they handle the transition after the breakup. So in this conversation, we are going to look at signs that point to the fact that you need to seek legal custody or to have a custody agreement. And also, we are going to look at when is the best time to actually do this. Sometimes the main reasons why people go to court to seek for custody, number one is, which is the oldest, is out of divorce proceedings. Whenever a couple goes to court for divorce proceedings, if they have children, definitely one of the orders that arise from there is custody of the children. So that is on one side. The other reasons now that follow why people normally go to court for custody is in case one of the parents is not providing for the child. This is normally with baby daddies. Ugandan baby daddies are still holding the flag so high when it comes to not providing for their children. So we have so many mothers going to court to seek for provision, what we call maintenance and custody of the child. The other reason is people go to court to seek for custody when one of the parents is unnecessarily denying the other access to the child. Now here it's the reverse. Mothers normally unnecessarily deny fathers access to their children, or they put very stringent conditions of seeing the child. Come to my gate at 7:49. If you come after that, you won't see the child. So at the end of the day, the father is left with no option but to seek clarity of custody in court. The other reason is when the child is in danger. Sometimes these children are probably with their fathers or mothers, but even the conditions they're in, they're probably staying in a slum, and you have tried to reach out to the other parent to have the child upgraded in a better setting, and they are not compliant. And the child's morals are deteriorating because of where they stay, or they are left just in the care of a housemaid. And the mother that you think is staying with them is probably staying in another residence altogether. When, for example, a mother is now moving on and getting married to another partner, they want clarity on this other child that they are going with into the next marriage. Sometimes it's because the other person places a demand on them that I want you to first clarify the issues to do with this child. Are we paying school fees for this child? Can we go with this child if we are relocating? Can we do this and this? So the mother comes back to the ex to have issues of custody resolved, and sometimes it ends up in court. And in another instance, we have relocation. In case one of the parents is relocating, sometimes within the country, but in most cases, it's out of the country. Either they want to go with the child, or they have been there and gotten domicile, and they come back and they want to take the child and incorporate them into the other system. So because this becomes a very hard decision for the other parent to make, to have a child taken in another jurisdiction where they don't have free access or easy access, they can't easily let go. And this other parent ends up seeking for legal custody in court. And then sometimes we have parents seeking for custody in form of variation, that court has previously granted custody, but because the other partner the other parent did not observe it to the dot or is in contempt of certain orders, the other person goes to court to seek for variation of this custody and make it in their favor. So basically, those are some of the major reasons why people seek custody from court. Now, the question is that the best time to go to court to seek for custody? Or rather, is that the best time to reach out to the other parent to resolve this custody issue? This, like you have seen, is in most cases in the face of some turmoil. So it's definitely never the very best time, although we cannot disregard the fact that sometimes it's the only option that you need, or it's the only time now that you need to take a decision to go to court and seek for legal custody. But the best time to seek for legal custody is actually when both parents are still on talking terms, or at that point where after the breakup everybody has gone on and now you are on talking terms. At that point where your baby mama is compliant, your baby daddy is compliant, and you are on talking terms, that is the very best time to reach out to them and have a custody agreement. Have it drafted and witnessed, and you can also have it filed in court. Why? Because if you wait when you really, really need this custody order badly, you are bound to get so frustrated. Because like I have showed you the scenarios where one of the parents, for example, is getting married, the other parent sets into jilted lover mode. And the person who was compliant, who was doing what they're supposed to do, we normally see this with fathers. When the mother says, I am now getting married, come we sit and talk about this child. That's when the father remembers that, oh, by the way, I can't allow my child to grow up with a stepchild. I cannot allow this and this and this. Yet you have been with this child all this long, fully taking care of them. But just because you have mentioned that you are getting married, maybe because they expected you to come back to them, I don't know. So that now makes your transition very hard. The same with relocation. So before you get to need all this, if you could sit down with the other parent and agree on how do we handle this, how much are you providing per month? Are you paying school fees? I'm paying school fees. What are you going to be providing for the child? This helps you avoid having the child be more of the center of your disagreement. Because remember, when you go to court at that point, court is likely to call or invite this minor to have a conversation with them. Now, that is the most undesirable place every parent wants their child to be in. To be brought to court to settle a dispute that his or her parents have failed to resolve. Because court will want to know, are you okay where you're staying? Who are you staying with? What are the conditions of living? To help court make a decision. Now, for parents, it's okay. They will move on from whatever the child says. But we don't know the effect this has on this child 10, 15 years from the date they were called in court. How they regard this whole process, how it affects their mental well-being and their character and everything that goes on after there. We do not know. So if we can avoid this and have a custody agreement way earlier, or go to court and have a consent where the child is not even called to court to settle this dispute, they will never get to know about it and they will be protected that way. By and large, this is not to push you to go to court immediately. The very first option you can explore is a custody agreement. Call your baby daddy, your baby mama, and sit down and have a custody agreement and agree on these things. Don't wait for when it's too hot. But if it's too hot and very unfair for the child, then you have no option but to seek legal redress to protect that child. That's it for today. Kindly drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know if this has been helpful. Let me know what more you want me to talk about. Also, don't forget to like, to subscribe, to hit the notification button. Till next time, bye-bye.